let's move on to our question of the week.
Yes.
And so I saw this on Twitter yesterday, and I replied to it, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a good question for the." And I didn't get the name of the person that put this out, but so I apologize for that. But the question of the week is, who is the C-list comic book character you irrationally think deserves a solo series?
I think I just said it earlier.
So, what was it? Which one was it?
Captain Britain.
Oh,
I want to see Captain Britain his own series, done in the style of a BBC series, but done by Disney. I think that would be because it's taking place in Britain, so we'll see the British style of a superhero based in their media, kind of saving the city of London. And his powers are mystical based. I think it would be if we don't get Henry Cavill as Captain Britain, I would love to see Captain Britain done.
And I just realized I misread the question because it's supposed to say solo title, like a comic book title.
Oh,
not a TV. Sorry, no, yeah, you're right, Clay. I was like, wait, why is Kyle pitching me a TV show? But I want that TV show.
Yeah, I would want both. Who would you want writing and drawing a Captain Britain book?
I'm going to go straight back to Excalibur. What was his name? Alan Davis.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
Alan Davis art.
Sorry, just give me Alan Davis doing it because
he's a writer. He's a writer artist, so he could.
Yeah,
he's done it before. Well, my answer on Twitter yesterday was, and it was kind of a cheat because I said Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, but I don't want them doing superhero stuff.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, I just want there was a one shot. I think it was DC Summer Spectacular from last year.
Yes.
That had a story with them.
Yes.
And it was just like time travel shenanigans and them hanging out.
Let's be fair, not Jamie Reyes, Ted Kord.
Right, Ted Kord. Yeah, no, Jaime Reyes will definitely get his own title and now his own TV show or movie, whatever they announce. Yeah. Which I would love to see Ted Kord in that series or movie
as a mentor.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want them hanging out, like eating pizza and stuff, like whatever. Just a mini series where they just have their own adventures that lead to shenanigans. But I don't know who would write that. I would need somebody funny. Maybe somebody like Joe Kelly or Gail Simone.
Patton Oswalt.
Oh, Patton Oswalt, yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Paul Scheer has written some pretty funny stuff.
Who would you have on art?
Man, I don't know. That's tough because I want a stylized style. So I don't know. I don't know on that one, Clay. I'll let you say your answer. Maybe I'll come up with somebody's name.
Okay. I love Armadillo from the Marvel universe. Armadillo has played both good and bad roles. So I would love to see, and this could be a miniseries or a show, a character that is restricted from being a superhero or supervillain, but is trapped in a body and can't do anything about that. So he'll always be like that armadillo, but he has like a tracker on his foot. He has to see his parole officer. He has to try to find a job. Like, what does that person do who is a knockoff of Rhino? Because that's really all Armadillo is. He's a knockoff of Rhino. I would love to see that as a show. I would want to see it. I would think it would be a funny book, and I would want Patton to write it. And
too bad he's already writing my book.
Todd Nook to draw it.
Oh yeah.
So that's
actually Todd Nook would be good for the Booster and Beetle.
Yeah, because he drew that short story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He also had something in Infinite Frontier, and I was like, oh, this is definitely Todd Nook art. Like as soon as I saw the noses and the characters.
Yeah.
I don't remember which story it was.
I'd like to bring one more out. I'm gonna throw it out there just because we don't really see much. Well, I would like a return of the Wendell Vaughn Quasar.
Okay.
Oh, Quasar. Okay.
Do a space show.
Oh no, and not even that. Like have him be like sort of the Green Lantern. Like I mean, like he's doing space and Earth. Like, I was rereading some old Avengers, and I'm looking back when he was Wendell Vaughn, business owner in the Freedom 4 Plaza. And there's an issue where basically Cap goes to meet him, and he changes out of his into his Wendell Vaughn costume, and he goes, "Hi, Captain America, I'm Wendell Vaughn." And the thought bubble appears and goes, "Cap, does Quasar actually think that a pair of glasses is going to help his secret identity?" And so it was a fun thing to see. I miss the old Quasar, like when he was sort of like, I'm the protector of the universe. I have these quantum bands that sort of do everything that the Green Lantern ring does, makes him, he's, got like he has Eon is sort of the Guardians. So it was just this kind of fun book from the 90s. I think like him or Captain Britain would be two characters I think would be a fun return just to see that old style of superhero.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. Okay, well let's go on to our recommendations here, and we'll close out the show. So here, I'll go ahead and I'll get us started. This week, I'm once again recommending something I haven't read, but I've been pretty excited about for a long time now. They announced this book so long ago. It's Children of the Atom #1 by Vita Ayala and Bernard Chang. And let me read you guys the solicit, because I think that's what really, whoever wrote this really got me hooked. When did the XMen get sidekicks? Now, don't miss the debut of the greatest teenage superhero team of all time. They've learned from the best. Now they are ready to be put to the test. But who the heck are these kids and where do they come from? And I'm looking forward to knowing more who in the world these kids are, because if you've seen the cover art, it looks like just like one of them looks like they have the same powers as Cyclops, but it's not Cyclops. One of them kind of looks like Nightcrawler's coming out of a BAM cloud, but it's not Nightcrawler. So like if these are just their sidekicks, like do they have similar powers to their mentor or whatever figure, or is it just like, are they just kind of going with the look, trying to stay on brand?
Now I got to look it up.
Yeah. It's already out, you said? Oh,
it comes out on Wednesday. It comes out Wednesday. But yeah, I hadn't. I mean, like I said, I've been waiting for this book a long time. They announced it so long ago, but we're finally getting some new X-Men titles because we need more apparently in the next few weeks.
I was dropping a lot.
Put them back in Westchester, damn it.
What is it? Is it The Way of X? That one's coming out soon too.
I'll get that. That's why I'm dropping them. I'm like, it's just too much. It's just so dense. I just don't think they understand how much content is too much.
It's never enough. It could. It's never enough. Maxwell Lord taught us that over Christmas.
It's good, but can be better.
It could be better.
All right, Kyle, what do you have?
This was going to be my recommendation last week until people started harping on GoBots. I'm going to throw out. It's not a comic book; it's a TV series, and you can watch all 10 episodes free on Peacock. But the new Punky Brewster.
Oh,
it was a nice little fun sequel to the original TV series. So, like I just had a lot of fun. I was playing some video games, put it in the background, still was listening to it. And it was just a nice little rehash, of how they basically explain what her life's become since the original series ended.
And a wholesome family entertainment.
Basically, yeah. So basically, she was married to Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character. They just got divorced. They have one biological daughter.
He's on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They have one biological daughter, and then basically they adopted two boys. She's living basically Henry. They kind of play Henry as they do Mr. Miyagi, and where they still pictures and they talk about him like they do Mr. Miyagi and Cobra Kai. But basically, he left her the apartment, so they're living in the apartment. They still, basically Sherry, her the best friend, is now a lesbian in a couple, about engaged to a lawyer, and she runs the children's center where Punky was originally found. Oh. Henry found her, and she's a photographer. And basically, Sherry says, we have this one kid who basically it's a Punky Brewster 2.0, and Punky ends up basically bringing her in. And so it's basically this whole family trying to live with this other adopted kid, and who's basically her, and also goes on little other things about dealing with, like, whether or not does she still have, do her and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character still have feelings for each other, him trying to realize that even though we're still good friends, we're still a family unit, and also her basically having kind of touching out to find out what happened with her mom. So, maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it was just, if you grew up in the 80s or were a fan or saw the series, it's a nice little continuation. Again, a wholesome family fun, 10 episodes, all free on Peacock.
Cool. All right, Clay, what do you got for us?
Actually, let me add to that because I want to drop in. I'll drop it in the notes. There is a trailer on Hulu called Kid 90. Have you seen this?
Mm-mm.
It is a documentary from Soleil Moon Frye about growing up as a TV star, all the other TV star kids that she kind of hung out with, and what it was like. It looks like they talk about Jonathan Brandis a little bit.
Well, I mean, after Dustin Diamond passed away, she did a thing. She did a thing for him because she actually played his gold digging girlfriend on an episode of Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah. So it looks interesting because it's home video of kid actors and then kind of breaking into the scene. So you see a lot of people, but they also deal with the fact that a lot of those kid actors and how they're treated and where they end up, because like what happened, Jonathan Brandis would commit suicide, and there's a couple other actors in there, but it looked very interesting. So if you enjoy the Punky Brewster and want to see the behind the scenes stuff, I'm dropping the trailer in the notes. I'm
going to tie one onto that. If you like hearing stories from the younger generation of the kid stars, its first season's already out. But Michael Julia Urkel, I think it's Michael Julia White or
Michael Julia White. Yeah,
Mike. He does a first season podcast where he's talking to the childhood stars. So he ends up talking to I always forget the names. Blossom.
Molly
Bach, a kid from The Sixth Sense. Haley Joel Osment, and just talks like a whole bunch of things. And he actually told a story about how he was in a series with you just mentioned his name, who passed away from Sequest, Jonathan Brandis. Yeah, and Jonathan Brandis. He said Jonathan Brandis was basically like almost looked like he was like really worried about his life, but like, trying to get a job. And he talks about how one of his last conversations was Jonathan Brandis goes, "Do you think the show's going to get picked up?" And I think Michael was so kind of just done with the whole, like, I'm getting a job, it gets turned down, getting a job turned. It's like, dude, I have to tell you, I just really don't care if we do or not. And then a week or two later, that's when Jonathan Brandis committed suicide. And he says it really hit him like a ton of bricks, because he's like, why did I, it's just one of those things, what could have, should have, how it affected him. So it's, again, he hits home, and they talk about all the stories, and it might be something to play off of the Kid 90 documentary.
Yeah, okay. It looked interesting. I when I re-up on Hulu, I'm gonna check it out.
Okay, is it already out, or?
I think I saw it as a preview, but I put the trailer in there if you want to check it out.
Okay.
Okay. What else, Clay?
I have a favorite book of the year so far.
Oh.
Fangs by Sarah Andersen. Cool. It was a book Shelby picked up at the comic book store, and I go, well, this looks fun, and just started reading it. It's a romance between a vampire and a werewolf, and it is a feel-good book. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. I really like reading it, felt good, and enjoyed the art. And I even tweeted at her. I was like, this is one of my favorite books of the year.
So what is it? The romance novel of, was it the one with Underground?
Underworld.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a romance book, but it's like, it's the progression of a story told through single comics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it comic book or book?
Yes. It's a nice hardback, but it is a comic book in the sense that the story's told through single and sometimes 4-panel comics per page. But it's just the progression of their relationship, being him being a werewolf and her being a vampire.
Okay.
And
yeah,
it's
really nice. Like,
really great.
The book is beautiful as far as just like the book, the hardcover itself. It's very small. I think I remember pre-ordering that because I follow Sarah on Instagram, and when the book was announced, she's like, "Yeah, you can pre-order here," and I was like, "Okay, that looks cool." And it was like, I don't know, a little cheaper than just normal.
Yeah, it's like $15.
Yeah, it's really cool. So,
Thanks.
Cool.
The other thing, and I just want to get into this a little more, the Real World Reunion. I posted a link in the notes to watch the first episode for free.
Okay, cool.
If you're a Gen Xer, man, this is just really history.
Is it them living together in the space again, or
they go, and I'll go ahead and give spoilers for the episode. They do go back to the exact same place. Okay. So they've renovated it. Everyone is back except one person because he caught COVID. And so he is on screen. And and they showed a preview, and they like go to visit him, and he's on a balcony, but he as they tried to quarantine everyone to get ready to do the show, which everyone thought was weird because this is like the 29th anniversary and next year would be the 30th. But everyone's back. And it's just interesting to see the people that are my age that have grown up in this world, but then there are people who have grown up with a lot of fame, but not a way to monetize that fame. It's very interesting to see people who have reality shows, and then they said they would go to, you know, stuff afterwards promoting it, and they're like, so do you act? Are you gonna the main girl on the show has an accent, and she goes, they would ask me, oh, so are you going to stay with that Southern accent, even though that was who she was? They give a different perspective of what it's like being famous, yet not trying to sell anything. You're just on a reality show, and it's interesting to see. And like, you know, you brought up the San Francisco one with Puck. I think Puck is where reality showed that the bad stuff gets better ratings. People talk about that, and then that kind of sends reality into a different direction. And as Kevin noted, they're one of the first reality shows, and he goes, and it led to a reality show president. And he just was not happy about that. Kevin has a lot of great thoughts, and he's probably my favorite person to watch on the show because he has views that he was trying to tell us back then about how America was, and we really didn't see it. And now here we are 30 years later or 29 years later, still talking about it. I love my Gen X TV, and it's like seeing old friends for some reason. And it's weird because everyone on the show got so emotional returning. They all cried, and they all just had these big, heavy moments of just, I guess, returning home in a sense.
Yeah.
Because they kept saying, you know, it's sad that some of us haven't seen each other since the 90s because we are a family in a sense. And it would be terrible for us to have to reunite under other circumstances. So I'm probably going to find a login to Paramount TV just so I can watch this. This is the biggest pull for me for this network. And they're going to stay there like 7 days, I think, is it. Okay.
I'm waiting for something cool to drop on Paramount to use the free trial if they have one. So we'll see. I don't know. There's nothing that really, I know. I don't need to watch the SpongeBob movie right now. So,
well, and the thing is, like, they have all the Star Trek. I mean, okay, granted, they have Discovery, they have Picard, and they have Lower Decks, but everything else, movie or TV, is basically on Hulu or Netflix, and it's like, okay, I'm good there.
it's pre-licensed out to somebody else. So
so the Lower Decks, someone want to see.
Yeah, like I have Disney Plus, and I watch new stuff on it. I owned everything else that they have in their library. I'm just basically paying for WandaVision. And then now,
go back and rewatch episodes of the Muppet Show. It's amazing.
That's true. I have not gone back to that. And I do.
Oh my god!
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for our show. As always, thank you guys for watching, listening, however you're catching this. For our audio listeners, you'll get this as one episode on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you probably watch this in a few parts. So I appreciate that. Make sure to go comment, like, and subscribe on YouTube. We are about 40 subscribers from getting our own URL.
Ooh, hey now.
Yeah, we've had a few people subscribe. So we try to drop about 2 to 3 videos a week, but including the podcast with all this. So
I love your reaction video to Why the Last Man.
I made a lemon out of lemonade.
I was like, what do they want me to do this? But okay.
I love that you didn't know it was only like a second until you got there and you're like,
it was literally 3 seconds of footage. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and check out the Why the Last Man reaction.
Oh god.
So and if you're listening to this on audio, leave us a review. That helps to grow the audience. Recommend it. I'll always support you airdropping this to your friends.
Yes.
So you can safely stay away from them, but you can still share the podcast with them. Okay, well, until next time, keep reading comics.
Hail, Bebo.
Bebo loves you.
All right, I think we're good. I just did that so I can know where to end it. Cool. All right, that was fun, guys. I'm glad we finally got all this WandaVision talk out of my
God.
Yes. I have
It was
to
a
go.
long one.
Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I had to leave for the restroom. I need to plan a break in between the recording somewhere because I had to leave to the restroom when I left. So
I guess 3 people doesn't mean a shorter show anymore.
yeah, sometimes this one really good. I didn't think we were gonna do 2 hours, but okay. Yeah, like I said, I'll put the audio out tomorrow, and then I'll cut up the videos throughout the week.
Cool.
I like
Cool.
All right.
so
Later.
later
All right.
guys.
See you guys.